It's Technology Screens, and our screen paint is Supreme Ambient Projection Screen Paint. So, I got a little thought thinking about dark gray screen paints. Now, I see a lot of dark gray screen paints out there from time to time. We actually have a few of them. Actually, we have one. We have that Platinum Eclipse, which is that dark gray screen. It looks almost like it's black. I think that's the darkest one we have. The one that actually looks like black, and then that's pretty much basically about it. You can't put it in the category of black silver because black silvers are actually kind of a gray screen. So over here we have Crow's UV Mix. As I said before, we don't have any more of this left. We are out. We are just completely out. That's why I tried to order more, but our orders were canceled. So I'm curious, how do dark gray screen paint mixes add up? Now, I am going to be looking for somebody else on eBay that may have a dark gray screen paint mix, so I can do a side-by-side other than what I'm doing here with the Crow UV Mix, which is, as you can see, is a very dark screen paint mix. And as I said before, we don't have any of that left. We are completely empty on that, and there's no way in the world possibly this could ever be his paint because, like I said, we're out. We tried to order more, but our orders were canceled. So, got me thinking that what would happen, how would it stack up side by side if I were to do the UV mix that we have on the sample sheet, and this is just everyday great primer that I use basically upstairs for repainting. I'm actually repainting my attic, so I'm just thinking along the ways. So, I am actually looking at two other companies that make a very dark gray screen paint too. Also, I will be doing some side-by-sides with, just out of curiosity to see how they stack up. So first things first, we're going to paint this surface first. I'll paint over my pretty blue with the gray primer that I purchased online. Let me figure out exactly where my stand might be at because I'm needing my stand to do this. All right. And then meanwhile, over here, what we're going to do is we're going to take both of them and put them side by side to the black technology, which we have over there. But let me see if I can find the stand. I think the stand may be upstairs in the game room somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's up there. Oh yeah, stand everywhere else where it's supposed to be at. I got it right there. Pretty blue, right there. I told you, technology, things we do in our demonstration, no one else does. This is how I leave my screen on. Right there and all that light. Let's go upstairs. Let's find my stand. I was talking to a fellow of mine. He was like, well, I don't know why in the world anybody questions your work when they're watching your screens fire up in fully lit environments. And you're talking about projection screens. And your screen's up there sitting in all that ambient light, producing an image. But they still want to have these discussions with me. Okay. And keep in mind, when we do these demonstrations against our technology, and I'm going to put a bunch of links at the bottom. I want you to look at them. These are, when we test our black screens, we got to test our black screens against everything. I've tested my black screens against black chalk paint. I've done spray paint. I've done flat paint. I've done black material. I have done just about everything I could throw my screens at to see which one's going to produce the highest white level. So we've done it already. Been there, done it. But I've never seen anybody else do the same demonstrations. So I'm curious, how do they compare? Let's get ourselves, oh, I forgot the vase is upstairs. I'm using that in the other room. What can we use to prop this? You're not going to be able to see from here. Forgot the vase I was using is in the other room. Can you see that from there? Let me see if I bring it down some. Nope, all the way down. You're not going to be able to see that. Yes, comments have been blocked temporarily for the time being. I don't need Crow Boys coming here and getting embarrassed. My buddy's still laughing over when the Crow Boy asked me about the sunlight. How about you take your screen and put it in the sun? That was I'm gonna leave it at that. Question shouldn't have said. So this right here is just everyday primer that I picked up. I use it upstairs because my upstairs is all pink in the attic, and I'm turning the upstairs into a virtual center. So I have to coat everything in there in dark gray and then coat it back over in black. So this is just everyday gray paint that I purchased. Nothing's in it, nothing special about it at all, period. It's everyday grade paint. Now, mind you, I already did a demonstration and basically when he was showing how to make his pre-mix for free online. And I just basically, all I did was just go in, follow his tutorial, and just do the exact same thing in his demonstration. Now, keep in mind, for those of you who want to challenge our technology, in order for you to be able to match our screens, you would have to complete all 30 tests. Our screens have to go through quite a lot of testing, brutal testing. As you can see with that sun killer, that green had to go outside in order for it to actually complete its first test, was actually had to be done outside in direct sunlight. So feel free to go through my categories, check out all my test demonstrations, and feel free to complete every last one of them perfectly. Because if one of those screens had flawed in any one of those tests, you would have never seen it on the webpage to begin with. So before you see mixing our product and saying this is how we did it, so that's not enough. You have to complete all the tests, all of them, in order for you to say that is his product. Other than that, you're just hearsay. You're talking. Whether you like it or not, you're talking. So let's see what happens. People do this all the time. They go out and get a great primer or whatever, and they paint their walls with it. So there we are. Done. Now, as I told you before, and I was honest with you when I said this, we don't have any more of his paint. What we have in that container was painted onto a sample sheet. That's it. That's why we would order more of it, but he canceled the orders. Okay? So this is just primer. That's all it is. Yep. Who is calling me? You're gonna have to wait. Sorry. I'll call you back later. So let's see what we get. We're going to take this over into the room over here. This is why he doesn't want us to review our products. He doesn't want to review his products because he's afraid that his products are fade out. Keep in mind, it's not just him. Everybody goes through this to us. Everybody. Everybody we test has to go through this. Oh heck, look at this. Freaking Elite Screen makes a screen called the Yardmaster. They got an outdoor screen called the Yardmaster. Next year, it's going to go against a 12 outside. You know what the outcome of that's going to be? Black technology pulling off a contrast level versus a white screen outside. You know the results of that one already. So they can't sit there and complain to me and say, hey, you did us wrong, blah, 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 blah. You have a white screen. What do you think what's going to happen if I put you outside and throw Batman up on the screen at 6 o'clock in the evening? Your screen's going to wash out. Any other white screens you're going to test outside on that blow-up inflatable screen, what do you think is going to happen to them? Majority of outdoor screens are white or gray. You're going against a black screen that can blend into your screen. So that's a problem. When I pull contrast, you can't blend. When you pull color, I can blend right into your screen with no problem. So what you need to do is you need to go back to the drawing board and you need to advance your technology. So come next year, we're going to try to dominate all white screens outside. That's it. It's going to happen. So let's see what we get. We're going to use a Christie projector. We're going to bring the big boy out. 4,300 lumens. That's enough power to kick it to get the job done. We're going to put this right next to the UV mix and see how close we come to basically if it matches. That's why I said when you got screens like those big companies and they do their tests against white screens. So what happens when one point that white screens don't exist anymore and you're just faced with gray screens? You should have been testing your technology against other gray screens. That's what you should have been doing. Let's go get a fan to dry this down. And the fan's in the other room. Are you going to get the same reaction? Or are you going to get a bunch of hype talk? Now, in my demonstration, before we get a crowbar and start squawking, let me explain something to you. When we do gray screens that we develop are all tested on dark contrast levels. They can pull contrast levels, they can pull images outside, they can pull high white levels, and they can beat high-end screens. I don't see those demonstrations being done with other screens. They don't do those demonstrations. So if you don't do those demonstrations, we're going to have to do them for you. Because I think people need to see this. If I have to go through all these tests for my technology, how come you don't have to go do it? Now, my gray screen falls in the category of a gray screen. That's it. Is it dry? Stand in front of the projector. Right there. It's a great screen. So, meanwhile, while we're waiting for that to dry, we are in the kitchen right now with the UV Mix. Orders. It's an order day. Remember I told you, orders coming through. Oh, the new containers for blue. The pre-orders are going to be hard to get. I'm going to tell you that right now. We got people already trying to get them pre-orders. When the blue comes out, it's going to be a limited amount. It's not going to be a lot in the shopping cart. First come, first serve. And then after that, it'll be a month before we launch it. So just let you know that it's not going to be a product you're going to be able to get your hands on right away. Sorry, but that's how it has to be. Let's pull up. So right there, that is a UV Mix going against a 12, doing the Sony demonstration, which I consider to be one of the darkest contrast demonstrations I've seen so far. Sorry about that, just trying to adjust my, there we go. Now we're thinking about dark gray screens. People go to dark gray screens, they're gonna get the contrast. We make a platinum black or a platinum eclipse. It's one of the darkest gray screens we make. But I've told you before that the platinum next to a 12 will never be to produce that contrast level. The only screen that we had that produces 100% contrast level is a 12. There's no screen that we have that will match it when it comes to that level. Now, as soon as I find some other people on eBay that sells a dark gray screen paint, we'll be using this for right now. Now you see, right next to a window. See, the thing about it is, when you're dealing with 100% contrast level, even next to a window, if your ambient light rejection technology is good, that black level should never fade. It should never look gray. Now, usually when these demonstrations are done, they're usually done in dark environments where the dark gray screen may have a chance to be able to pull a contrast level, hopefully equal to a black screen. But if we take it out of that element and we stick it in an environment that's well lit, then the problem you're going to have is you're going to see it for what it really is. The black level always is supposed to remain black. We're using an ultra short throw projector. My projector is less than a foot away from the screen. It's 3,600 lumens. It has a 4,000 to 1 contrast. Not a big contrast, but like I said, with black technology, you don't need it. And this is what you're getting from a gray screen, a dark gray screen. Which means what we just painted over there, it's going to do the same thing when we put it against this screen. Then later on, when it gets nighttime, it gets a little darker in here, then we'll do this with the lights out and we'll show you exactly how they make it look that the screen is pulling a 100% contrast level when it isn't. Now, if a dark gray screen is having this issue of pulling up a contrast level against a black screen, then how much more would a lighter gray screen have a problem pulling up a contrast level? 12s pull extremely high white levels. Oh, I don't like this level because they showed a woman with the crown of thorns on her head. And I think the only person had a right to have the crown of thorns on his head was Jesus Christ. I don't like that when people do that stuff.
Everyone makes mistakes.
There you go. We can blend the screen easily. So our screen can pull a high enough white level to blend his screen easily, but he can't pull a contrast level like our technology. Let's see where we're getting at with the how far we got to go along the screen drawing already. It's almost there. We're almost there. There you go. You see how interesting that is? So a 12 can produce a high enough white level to make a gray screen disappear right off the screen. But yet I can pull a contrast level and the gray screen can't pull a contrast level at all. Not even a black silver. A black silver can blend into a black screen. A black screen can blend into a black silver. But the minute we put on a contrast level, every last one of those screens, you will see the difference. You will see that the fact that they can't pull that contrast level like that black screen can. And once that's dry, we're going to take this sample sheet and we're going to put it against the gray paint we have over there. Then we're going to paint a sample of the gray paint and put it against the black screen. See how the colors pop up? I like this demonstration because it shows the colors and then boom, shows that black level. Colors, black levels, which means you're watching that black screen go toe to toe, showing off the ability to produce color. When that contrast hits, the other screen's gone. Can't keep up. Keeps up, keeps up, keeps up. Look at that. No problem. Keeping up with the color with the other screen. But the minute the black level shows, the other screen flaws. Just like that. Can't pull contrast. You got to see what I see in this demonstration. You can see the color going off on the screen. The minute the screen pulls that contrast level in, that's it. The other screen basically flaws. Now, if a gray screen is having this hard of a time struggling with the screen, what makes you think any other screen is going to stand against a 12? Extreme black is darker than 12s, and they put just about everything else to shame. They can even put a 12 to shame in extreme black. But sorry to say, the extreme black is actually in negotiation to be bought. I sold that technology. That's why I never made it to the page. It did make it to the page for a brief second, but it was pulled right away. Blue? Blue's gonna make it to the customers. I got offers for blue, trust me. Yeah, blue is going to come to the customer. Customers are going to get blue.
Let's get to it, America. Because joy doesn't just happen. You make it happen. And during the fourth of the holiday sales event, we're helping you.
Now, it should pull a higher white level because it is a light gray, a gray screen compared to a black screen. Not afraid to show white levels. But the white levels have to be so dark that you can't see the screen. And you can see the screen. Let's go with LG snow demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
I saw on Amazon, and I have to buy one today. It was a Wi-Fi extender from Amazon for these things right here. I'm gonna have to get one. Put you up right tonight. And you see right there? I'm gonna pause for a minute. I'm gonna go back there for a minute. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I told you contrast is in everything. Even in white levels, there's contrast. Let's go back for a minute. Pause that for a minute. Let's go back a little bit. Right there. Pause that. Go back. Do you see that right there? Oh yeah. Black screens can pull white levels. Our technology can pull white level. Look at that. We can pull white level. But look when it comes to that right there. The reflection. That's supposed to be black right there. It can't pull it. My projector is in eco mode right now. Let's go get J and K. Let's pull up some skin tones. So one here. See, I can do all contrast only, and this screen will not even survive. Look at that. Clear that, and let's put in J and K. I think the other screen should be dry right now because I'm curious to see how that's going to look. Let's go to, you do not want to see that one. That's an all black demonstration. That is not going to go well. Let's see. This is a favorite one. Now, I've seen the demonstration on this one with our technology. Our screen was supposed to come up really dark in this demonstration. Very, very dark. So dark that you couldn't see the screen. You want to get a little closer? You know I'm smiling on the other end of this camera, right? See, that's the difference between our black screens and any other black screens. We can blend into other gray screens. All right, let's go over to, let me see, put some nature in the scenery. There you go. I kind of feel bad. I wish I would have left the freaking comments basically able. I'm doing the next one. We're going to do the comments. We're going to leave them able. Because I got to hear what the Crow Boys' point of view has got to be on why we have a 12 sitting here in front of a UV mix that's producing bright images that's blending into the screen. Look at that. Contrast level, screen failed right there. You can't pull the contrast level on the Black Bear. If this screen matches that gray paint over there, I'm going to be freaking shocked. Look at that. You can't pick up the contrast. Anytime that screen turns gray, it's contrast being displayed on the screen. The red levels are coming up weak. Now, Crow Boys, you see that? See all around me? How is it? Look, there's a Black Bear coming up. Contrast failed again. How is it possible? We have a black screen here, and it's so bright. You can see it. You can see the bubbles in the water and everything. So why does it look like the demonstration that Jamie does? I'm curious. Doesn't look the same. I'm just curious. I'm just asking questions, just wondering how is that possible? What's going on there?
This is Chromecast with Google TV. It's perfect if you want to jump right into Netflix at the click of a button. Bon appetit. That's Chromecast with Google TV. Now with 6 months of Netflix included for just $89.99.
Now keep in mind, let's put this out here real quick. If my paint was so dark that skin tones came out so dark, how in the world are we looking at a nice beautiful pink flower here and it's coming up just as bright as the UV mix? Just questions to be put out there. I need to go back and check some of the demonstrations on this channel. So I'm curious how that's possible. I'm just getting a little closer just in case if we need to get a little closer on the screen. How about this? How about we do this? Can we get nice and close? So how is that possible? Contrast level failed there. Tell you how it's possible. Our technology, this is a real demonstration, and we're not mixing our product with black paint. That's why. That's interesting. How sad it is that you have to basically go to such levels to tear someone's product down to make yours look better. That's sad. At the end of the day, my orders still continue. It's a shame. It really is. Now I could have used all contrast levels knowing that my screen would be more superior, but I decided to bring it down to his level and bring up bright, beautiful images, which he likes to use. Something that a black screen should have a lot of problems working with, especially with bright colors. But here's the thing, what Crow Boys understand. Even down to black screens, we have codes in them that allows them to be able to read white levels. That's why I'm blending into your screen. You have no code in your product. If you did, you would be able to read a contrast level like a black silver. Black silvers can read contrast levels. I can put on a star field demonstration on a black silver and it can pull a contrast level and it can beat. And it did it. It beat 6 or 7 top performance screens with no problem. Which shows the black silver is not a normal product. But I guarantee if I take this off, I wonder how close it comes to that paint I got over there. Let's pull up something else. Let's see. A commercial gives my friends the willies. If you notice, the light is nowhere near your screen. It's all on my side. My projector is sitting in eco mode right now. So my black screen is sitting in eco mode. It's got a window on one side, a light on the other side. And it's still maintaining a white level high enough to blend your screen in eco mode. Yeah, enough said. I love putting people on the spot. I do. I love putting them on the spot. I don't know what in the world gets in their head that they think. I think what it is, they think they have such of a high enough influence with other people that they're just going to be able to just say something and persuade people to think one way. Even if a person sees our demonstrations, which we display right now, look at that. Crow couldn't even begin to do a demonstration on that level. That screen is taking on all that light with no problem. That's what blues are designed to do. 15s, they can take in a ton of ambient light. So that light pushing off around my light right there and the windows at the same time. What time we got anyway? I think we're in the afternoon right now. Couldn't even begin to even have a screen sit in that kind of environment. If I put your screen right now against that screen right now, it'll wash out. That's what you call an ambient light rejection screen right there. See my dimmer switch? See right here? All the way up. All the way up. Look at that technology. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. Now, meanwhile, let's see how close you come to this. Because I got a funny feeling I might blend that screen just with some everyday gray paint. And that's the case. I paid about, we know what that's going to do against my screen. My screen's going to blend that gray screen and then turn on to a contrast level and leave it in the dust. And it is. Can't catch up to 12s. Well, let's see how close we come. This is the reason why our orders got canceled. Because we're going to put it through some brutal testing. We're not even outside yet. I tell people, look, we're not even outside yet. We're still inside the house. Told you. Same thing. It's just paint. That's all it is. If I take that technology right there, it's not technology, it's paint. If I take that and I put that against my black screen will blend that screen so fast and then turn around and throw a contrast on it and basically leave it in the dust. So already we show you a black screen that can produce a high enough white level, high enough to blend into a gray screen. It can produce white levels with no problem. And yet you have a screen here that just blended in nearly into gray paint, primer at that. That's why I tell you, when you watch the demonstrations on the product, and don't get mad, Crow Boys, it is what it is. Do you know why our screens have to go through all those tests, all those demonstrations we have to do? Because we have to show that our technology is different from everything else. We have to do things that no other screens are going to do. Those screens outside. I got a demonstration on an Optima GT 5600 showing a 140-inch screen outside on a black screen at around 7 o'clock in the evening watching a movie and pulling a 190-degree viewing angle that is crystal clear. No one does demonstrations like that. That proves our screen's ability to be able to pull amazing ambient light projection. So when you don't do those tests and you basically just take a screen, hit it with a high-end projector in the dark in a halfway lit environment and go, voila, look how beautiful the colors are. Look how fantastic the detail is. That's not a test. That's not a demonstration. You only do demonstrations and tests when you're actually put on the spot and you're told to do them. You should do them automatically. That's why my screen can sit there in all that light and smile at you and show off that beautiful image, because that technology was tested outside when we started making the ambient light projection, the game for the screen to begin with. They were done all outside. Oh, let's see what we got going on with this. Let me get whatchamacallit, the setup for this. Got to do all those tests. Let me ask you a question. Would you buy brakes from your car if they said, voila, we got brakes, we made them. You only got one test, they run, they work, they're good. Would you buy them? You wouldn't buy those brakes. You want to see all those tests where they basically did downhill tests, did this kind of test, did how long they have to burn the brakes down to see how they would still work. You know, when you see all those tests, you wouldn't stick those on your car to begin with. Or if somebody came out with a smoke detector test and say, hey, we made it, we don't need to test it, it's good, it'll work. No, you want to make sure it's tested, that it works. That's why you have to do all those tests. But they don't want to do those tests because somewhere along the line in those tests, they run the fear that their screen is going to flaw or fail. And that's what they don't want. Because that means they have to go back to the drawing board and have to do it all over again. And go back to the drawing board, do it all again. It's work. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to put the time in. So what they do is a fast demonstration. Got a new mix. This is what it is. This is how fantastic it looks. This is compared to the other one. So buy it. Let's see how the thing looks if you throw it back 20 feet. How's the thing react in the light? These are all the tests you have to know. How does it compare to a high-end performance screen? Show me some sample sheets against a high-end screens. I'm not talking about put a little sample sheet on the side and keep the environment dark. No, light that place up. Again, it blended, no problem. So technically, honest to goodness, I don't have to buy your UV mix anymore either. I just go down to Home Depot and just buy $23 for this stuff right here and be done with it. I'm not going to tell you what it's called. I'm not going to tell you what it is at all, period. Oh, I guess it gets time to give up. I'm not going to tell you what it is at the end. I'm not going to tell you what kind of paint it was. That's none of your business. I'm not telling you that. I'm just showing you a side-by-side comparison. I could tell you what it is, but I'm not going to tell you that. That's why you have to do all those tests. That's why I laugh when they say, oh, we're going to make this paint. I laugh at y'all because at the end of the day, orders still stack on top of my table. You know why? Because I got 30 tests under my belt showing what my technology can do. And if you can't beat any of those tests, if you can't match at least 10 of them at the least, then you basically just got a bootleg copy of whatever crap you made up. Much like what we're seeing right now. Ain't seeing nothing new. I like how they say, oh, we can match the color of it. Yeah, try to match the color of the blue. It's still going to come up a blue screen with nothing but blue all over the screen. You see what happens when you hit a red wall with a projector? It doesn't come up. It comes up red. You can't figure that one out, can you? That's crazy right there. Look at that. That's insane. You can't even tell where the sample sheet's at. Where the heck is the sample sheet? Can you see it? It's right here. I'll put some links at the bottom of some of the tests we had to put our screens through when we had to test them against different surfaces. Because also, too, our screens react different on ultra short throws, too. If you take black paint and you put it against our screen on ultra short throw to a white level, that black paint comes out so dark you can barely see the screen, but our screen can produce a high white level through ultra short throws. I'll put all those tests at the bottom so you can check them out for yourself to see what we got to put our screens through. Not this stuff. I told you I've been in this business a long time, and I can look at something, I can tell whether or not if it's it is what it is. Oh wow. Grab the phone. Demonstration. Should have did more. Supposed to do like I said, if you look at grays, our gray technology, when you shake that stuff up, that stuff changes colors right in front on the can. It just changes all these multiple colors. And everybody thought that was freaking chameleon paint until I put it on the screen and it didn't reflect at all. It didn't show any kind of colors, nothing, just shaded solid gray. They couldn't even figure out how that crap was even made. They couldn't even figure out how it was made at all. So how are you shaking it up? So I shake it up in the container and then they think, okay, maybe you painted the inside of the container, let it dry and put gray paint inside of it. No, I poured it into a fresh container, shook it out right in front of you on camera, showed it how it reflected and how it moved around and the different colors changed back and forth. Then I painted it on the screen and just saying a solid gray. No glitter, no reflection, no sparkle, nothing. Just flat as can be. And yet if you throw it up on a contrast, that's going to pull black level. So he doesn't learn. Just because you make the color of a surface doesn't make the product. It's what's in it that makes the product. That's why blues are so interesting. Let's pull up a video. Let's see how close we come in playing a video. Let's grab this one right here. And let's see what we get. What do we got? We got, what are we running out here? Okay, let me see. Here's not the only one that's got to go through this. There are 2 other people that I've been researching online that I'm curious how close they come to everyday paint. So we'll find out. That's not good, my friend. That's really bad. That's really bad. Well, whoever bought that paint, you just got scammed. You literally got scammed. Big time. You got scammed. Good luck trying to get your money back. I ain't laughing at you. Keep in mind, my customers don't go through this crap. Nah. My customers know where to buy good paint at. It's the Crow Boys. They're the ones who just got scammed. You should have saw that one coming. When you saw we did the demonstration with the paint he made in this video. Literally made the tutorial video. All I did was just copy the paint that he made. And it matched a personal mix perfectly. Wow, that is really bad. That's bad. Tomorrow we're going to paint half of that with black technology. We'll blow the screen out the water real quick. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll paint half of it with 12 technology. We'll do away with it. That really is bad. Can't see the screen, can you? It's right there. It's staring you right in the face. It's right freaking there. You can't see it, can you? I gotta get up on it. Can you see it now? It's right there, staring you in the face. See the red tape? There it is, right there. I'll peel it off so you can see it. There it is. You just paid, I don't know how much for primer. That's bad. That's real bad. Don't get mad at me. You can show me how to hate you want. That's sad. Meanwhile, we got a blue screen over here. Look at this. Oh well. My customers who buy from me, on that table right there, they're going to get the real deal today or tomorrow. It ships out tomorrow. That's what they're going to get. When blue launches, they're going to get the real deal. But y'all continue to play around with these guys right here, you're going to get what you paid for. Just what you're going to get, just like that. A whole bunch of fluff, a whole bunch of talk, no test demonstrations, no real test demonstrations at all. Everything they do, they cut corners on. That demonstration of showing that Cinemax and with that using that projector, are you kidding me? In that dark environment? No. And you notice he stayed strictly to the bright demonstrations. He didn't go no any star fields, no OLED demonstrations. Now with that kind of whatever light he had in the environment, he wasn't going to do that. That screen would have flawed just like that. You would have saw it. He doesn't want you to see that. But I don't get, that's the part I don't understand. If they're hiding all this stuff, don't they know that the consumer is going to take that paint and do exactly what they're going to do with it? They're going to stick it in a well-lit environment. Because you have to understand, your environment is not going to be the same as his, and his is not going to be the same as yours. So eventually, it's going to end up in some kind of ambient light, and the screen's going to flaw like crazy. So that's the problem you're going to have right there. But then again, like I said, he has a way of protecting himself. Because when you ordered the product, you ordered a HD screen paint by Crow. If you went in, you ordered any form of mix. If you notice, the paint that he's selling is not listed by any product that he sells. It's a product that he has up there he doesn't even have in his inventory. He doesn't sell anything with that name attached to it that's on his eBay account. You have to email him and tell him what you want. But until then, on your PayPal receipt or credit card, debit card, or whatever you have, is going to show up as the product that what you ordered. Now, trying to contact them and tell them, look, I got a Frankenstein mix, I got a Metallica mix, I got this over here, this is what I ordered. It doesn't say it on your receipt. If it doesn't say it on your receipt, it shows you didn't purchase it. And you can't show them proof because, like I said, they're not going to take pictures in fear they've been photoshopped, and they're definitely not going to take videos. So it's going to be your word against his, and they're going to go by what you ordered on the receipt, and that is final. Yep. Because if that wasn't the case, he would have a category, and he would put down Crow Screen Paint mixes, and then have a category of every product that he has. Come on, if you haven't sold on eBay, if you haven't shopped on eBay, I don't know where the freak you've been at for a while, because everybody knows if you have several selections on there, you can buy several selections or several categories by that one merchant who's selling. So why would I even buy? Why would I even purchase a UV mix anymore? There ain't no point for me to purchase it. No, I got customers that I've dealt with that have gone out and say, you know, I don't need to buy his black screen paint. I'll just buy some black house paint and do the same thing. And then they'll contact and tell me like the contrast level came up, but when it came to the white levels, it looked like trash. Because you can't, black paint can't read a white level. Man, that's disturbing. That's freaking disturbing right there. That is, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let that play. Y'all can watch that. I gotta do something real quick over here on the computer. That's disturbing. Where's that number? This is the link I'm gonna put down here for you to see. This is a demonstration we have to do on our 7s. We did on our 7s when we developed it. That's black house paint. That's a Supreme 7. Now somebody's saying, but that's not black. Oh yeah, it is black. It's a black screen. So people understand, if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's and you say, hey, I want some black paint, they're gonna say, what shade of black paint do you want? What color do you want? They don't want black paint. No, what color do you want? Do you know black comes in multiple colors? Did you know that? Multiple colors. So we have to show difference between, when we started developing technology, what is the difference between black paint and our technology? You know why it was coded to look like that? Because that kept anybody who wanted to do fake demonstrations against us that was using everyday black paint. We could tell if they were faking the demonstration because the color would match. Something was wrong. It was a shade of black, but it was a different shade of black. And that's how we could tell. We did business with a company and said, oh no, this is your product right here. And we've had a problem with it. It's not working. We want our money back, so and so and so. I'm like, well, let me see the paint. We thought a sample sheet, put it against there. Like, it's not ours. We could tell. So let me go over here. So they both pull contrast. But if you come over and you show the demonstration, when it comes to the white levels, that's a 7, not a 12. And a 12 pulls a higher white level than a 7. We could show you the difference. You have to do those demonstrations. Just like Crow should have been doing demonstrations of showing you all his gray screens side by side, but not just showing color. You should have saw contrast. You should have saw color levels, the whole 9 yards, everything. And then he should have went out and bought some cheaper paints, like, you know, primer, stuff that people can try to do it themselves to try to get around your product. And he should have did those demonstrations and said, look, if you went out and bought primer, this is what would happen if you put it against our paint. This is how it would look. This is a demonstration we did for a company that wanted 200 gallons from us. And we said, hey, show us the difference between that and black paint. So I went right over and bought some black paint, painted inside the screen and said, look, voila, this is our technology versus black paint. This is the difference between the two. There you go. I told you, anything you hear me talk about, I can back it up. So what happens if we take a gray screen and put it against a gray screen? It blends. The do-it-yourself mix I made online for free, which I was taught by Crow to make, and the product that was given, actually bought online. Now you concentrate on that section right here, and here we have the personal mix. That screen paint he shows you how to make online for free. That is actually 2 tablespoons of black paint into white paint. It matched perfectly to a personal mix. The other paint, I didn't even have to mix anything. That was just basically dark gray primer, and I'm gonna tell you what kind, but dark gray primer that I picked up over at Lowe's, and I had it upstairs for a while for doing the actually repainting the upstairs. And I said, this looks a lot like a UB mix. And decided to come down here and do this demonstration, and sure enough, I was 100% right. It blended with no problem. That's the free. That's the UB mix versus the primer, the gray primer. You couldn't tell one from the other. I'll put you right here, close, so that way you can see it for yourself. I've been doing this for you guys for years. For years, he's been doing this to you guys for years. Why do you think he has to debunk and put everybody down? Because when this stuff gets there, he knows it's good. So he has to do whatever he can to bring it down as far as he can so he can make his product look good. And all the while, he's been selling you guys everyday paint that you can go pick up at any freaking hardware store. It'll react the exact same way. That's why he has no serious test demonstrations and none of that stuff. He was doing this test. For what? If he takes black house paint and he sticks it against one of his screens, it would flaw like crazy outside. He's not going to do any of this test. Trust me. You'll never see any of those demonstrations. I had to take my black screen and I had to put screens against my screen that are far lighter than my screen. You've seen me do it before. I took his personal mix and put it against my black screen. I've taken other high performance screens and put it against my black screen. And my black screen can blend into those screens with no problem and produce a contrast level they can't. There's a difference between my technology and that. But like I said, I'm just showing you. But like I said, just keep it honest. I'm not going to tell you what the paint is. I don't think that's right. I'm just showing you something that you need to see. Like I said, this dawned on me when I was upstairs painting the upstairs, getting ready to start working on it. And I'm looking at the paint and I'm like, God, this looks just like a UV mix. And I said, well, I'm just out of curiosity to see what would happen. And it matched. All right, so tomorrow I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna paint half of that in my black technology, and we'll go from there. But other than that, just gives you a lot to think about. I'll leave that right there for you. Gives you a lot to think about. Because keep in mind, I plan to do this with several other screen paints if I can find one dark enough. It's the darkest one I've seen so far. See, we'll do that one right here. All right, I think it's enough is enough. We've already seen enough already. I don't need to show you guys any more than you've already seen. It's just, it is what it is. I'm just saying, you need to really start researching your stuff. You really do. He talks up a good show. That's what it is. He talks up a really, really, really good show. But you guys got to look at it. I mean, I've been in business for a long time, and I can look at stuff and I can tell just by staring at it that something isn't right. Like I said, when I went upstairs and I was painting the upstairs, I was like, that looks exactly like a UV mix. And I saw him and I said, I got to see for myself. And sure enough, it matched. No problem. Now, of course, he's going to rant and carry on over this. He's going to get upset and get angry and everything else that he does. I'm going to make his product and I'm going to do this and do that. Oh, knock yourself out. I don't care. At the end of the day, like I said, don't flash that freaking label. You're already in enough trouble as it is. Oh, man. Yep. The same thing. That's just everyday gray, dark gray primer. That's what it is. Ain't nothing different about it. So I feel sorry for those who had that sitting on your wall. You just saw that demonstration a few minutes ago. Oh, that's got to be a freaking hurt piece right there. That's got you. Like I said, you can contact and argue him down, but it's not going to do any good because, you know, you bought a product that basically didn't describe what it was. Oh, check this out. Blues containers. These are going to be the containers that Blue's going to be put in. Yep, self-locking containers too. We're going to have to give you something to open those up because it's going to be hard to get them things open. They're self-locking containers. Yeah, but there you go. That's the kind of stuff we got to put our screens through. See, I have to put my technology against other black surfaces because I have to make sure that, you know, I got a company's going to be paying a lot of money for my product. I got to show them the difference. What's the difference in your product and black paint? And I have to show them the difference. They should have been doing those demonstrations. They really should have. I don't know. Okay, people, I'm out of here. I got much to do today. I still got orders to process for customers. That's basically about it. Well, that's yeah, just pretty much mind blown on that one. I'm pretty mind blown. I am. I'm seriously mind blown. I paid for that. You know, I paid for that product, right? I paid $104 for that product. I paid for that. I mean, like I said, don't feel like you've been dumbfounded and duped. I paid for it. I paid for actually 3 of these paints. I paid for them. I paid for paid for a few of his screen paints. I paid for. I can see why now he came in. He started from the door, canceling our orders. I can see why he's canceling orders left and right. Doesn't he know that? I mean, I'm not the only one that's going to do this. Someone's going to do it. I'm pretty sure people do it against my product all the time. You know what I mean? Like I said, we have demonstrations to back up our stuff. We had to. You know why he won't go near gray? He can't understand gray. So when that gray pulled that weird hologram color that popped up, he can't understand that. Because if he knows he tries to mimic a gray, he's going to have to try to put gray paint in there. And in order to show that it is gray, he has to shake it up and have to show that thing reflect. And not only is it going to reflect, but you're going to have to paint onto a surface that shows a solid gray. Grays are different. They're coded differently. Black screens, we already know from the door. Black screens, when we did those demonstrations, we had to make sure we did all demonstrations on white levels to see how that screen would pull white levels up. Now, him showing up demonstrations on a 12 being that dark, which shows that he faked the demonstration because we have your UV mix over here, and we were able to blend your screen on high bright levels. So, you know, it is what it is. I think I want some tea to drink. I just found that kind of interesting. There we go. It's right there. Unboxing. We had a lot of his paints we bought him. That's one right there I purchased. That was his unboxing, eBay listing, shipping, misleading. Yeah. I bought this one too. There's a box right there. Let me see what it is. I bet you $100 that's him. Huh. Look who's calling in. We'll keep this going. He can wait. I don't bother talking to him. I don't. It's just him screaming and ranting on the other end, talking about how, oh, it's not fair because it's not an ambient light rejection screen paint. You had it basically in ambient light. Like, really? Seriously? Why are you having that conversation with me? Oh. Same writing. That's his trademark. That writing. I forget what it's called. What kind of writing that is. What kind of font that is for writing. But it's the same one he uses in all his containers. That same font. Same font writing uses in all his containers. Yeah, we have this product here. We got sample sheets with his products here. We bought his product several times. This is the reason why we had our hands on it, because he got pressured by a lot of people saying, look, if you got nothing to hide, send it to him. And he started sending it. So we got a couple of them before he basically just got to the point where he's like, I'm not sending him anything else over because his paint didn't do well over here. It didn't do well at all. We did an outside demonstration against a black screen and it did not do well at all. We had this 2.0 Metallica mix. That's the paint I just made for free. I paid for that one. I made that paint for free. You can make that paint for free because he showed. Well, you can't find the video. He took the video down. The video's gone. They're trying to make our product. Good luck on that one. Let's see. It is me right there. Look at this. There you go. You want to see something interesting? Because if Crow tries to say, well, that's not my container, I never sold him that paint, I told you, I back everything up when I do something. So if he sits there and says, that's not my container, and he faked my product, he made it. Nope. Right there, I did an unboxing on it. That's his package right there. That's your product right there, Crow. Same container I have here in my hand. Your product. Same one. With the blue lid. I had it all that time. Right there. So if he ever tells you a lie and tells you, oh no, he doesn't have our product, that's a fake, he made that. No, that's your product right there. I did the unboxing for that UV mix he sent over. That's the one right there that just matched the gray paint right behind me. I paid $104 for that one too. That's the one that just matched the screen behind me. With no problem. Primer. They matched primer. Right there. That's your product right there that I just bought. You sent to me. And then that's the one that's back here. That matched primer. Your product right here. Primer. That's what it matched. This is the primer I'm using to paint my upstairs attic to get it ready to be coated all in black technology. So I can turn the upstairs into a virtual room. And in the process of painting it, I looked at it and said, this looks a whole lot like a UV mix. I wonder. And lo and behold, it matched it perfectly. So if he sits there and tells you, oh no, he doesn't have my product, he made that up. Well, there it is right there, sitting at my desk. You know, when we purchased that product, when he sits there and says, I don't do business with scammers, he doesn't ship to post office boxes. Well, people, guess what? That was shipped to a post office box. Yep. That's how we got our hands on it. He shipped it right to a post office box. Look at the date on it. January the 23rd, 2020. Yep. That's when we got that product right there. I don't ship to post office boxes. I don't do business with scammers. You did business with us multiple times. And not only multiple times, I have unboxings for everything I've purchased from you. And that was purchased recently. That was purchased this year. And you shipped that to a post office box because that's where it went to, my post office box. So the fact you're saying that PayPal or eBay found the envelope suspicious and that the shipping or the address was suspicious and they couldn't ship it to it is a lie, plain out lie. How would we have that right there? And how would I have that right now in my possession if you didn't ship that to our post office box? So he sat right there and lied when he said, I don't ship to post office boxes. That was a lie. You do ship the post office boxes because that's how we got it. Yep. So, anything to tell a lie, this product does not get over here. As far as anyone else hasn't figured it out. Nope. I'm gonna put you over here. I'm gonna play a video for y'all to watch. I'll handle some business here real quick. Let y'all look at that real quick. Cause I'm pretty sure he came behind and said, "No, I didn't send him anything. I never sent anything at all. I don't ship the post office boxes. I don't do business with scammers and all that stuff." It's funny, the entire time I was doing business with one. It's up nice and close, so y'all can see that for yourself, and you can go back and rewind the video if you want. There you go. See that right? Yeah. So this product is right there. I'll tell the way of the camera. Right there is the free do-it-yourself mix that he taught me how to make. He taught me how to make it. I watched the tutorial video. He showed me how to make it. That's the free mix right there, which says free, and that right there is his personal mix. That's somebody else's screen paint called Pro HD. Now, the guy producing the higher white level, that's another fellow that I put against Crow. He's actually cheaper than Crow, more affordable than Crow, and his product is actually better than Crow. Produces a much wider level. He's called Pro HD US. He's on eBay right now. I'm promoting him because, like I said, he does an amazing job. And on top of that, he had a category list where I can actually pick from what screens I wanted. And on top of the screen paints I wanted, and it actually said what I had on my receipt. That's his product. And I'll show you the can of his stuff real quick. Let me go get a can of his paint. This is his product right here. This is what I purchased. Very nice transaction. I had to go through a whole bunch of bull crap to begin with. Was able to purchase my order and it was taken care of. I got 2 quarts for $46.10 from him. This is his product right here versus Crow's. And look how dark Crow's comes up compared to his. Same thing. UV mix, a personal mix, reacts the same way as the free mix that I learned to make, that Crow taught me how to make. Some people say, what do you mean taught you how to make? You can't find that video. He deleted the video. You're not going to find it. You can only see the video through us. We only want to allow you to see the video because the video was deleted. Because I have people saying, well, he'll start up and start saying, well, since he feels he deleted the video, he's going to start saying, well, he made that without my permission. He didn't have my permission to make that. He went in there and plagiarized my work, and he made that product himself. And that's what he'll tell you, because he figured that you never saw the video that we just displayed. What's the word for when people say people are too smart for their own good? But they figure that in their mind, because they think it, they figure no one else is actually thinking it either. There you go. There's a video right there. Video right there. That's the video he deleted. He deleted that video the minute we posted the video. Because like I said, I was trying to get his product to do a side-by-side a review of his product. He reviews our products all the time. So why does it come from us when we try to review one of his products? He automatically blocks us from the door, or cancels our orders, or basically blocks us from his eBay account. That doesn't even sound right. But you can go to my website. You can place an order right now for it. So I got to thinking. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure I saw a video somewhere where Crow used to give out his free screen paints for free. So I went looking around and I found this video right here. It's one that popped up. And this one basically shows him explaining you how to make his Metallica Projection Mix 2.0. Or actually 2.0 or something. No, I'm sorry, not 2.0. Sorry about that. Metallica Professional Screen Paint Mix. Sorry about that. And it says it asks for 2 tablespoons of flat black paint. So I thought, I'm going to make this. So it's free. He's giving it out. He's not charging me any money for it. Why not? So I go and make it. And I made it right on camera so everybody can see that I didn't do anything different at all. As a matter of fact, I had a teaspoon there, not a tablespoon. So I had to go back to my computer. Even though I knew what it was, I had to show you that I looked up the correct calculations on how many teaspoons it takes to make a tablespoon. And it takes 3. So I had to put 6 in. There you go. That's his table. You won't see that video anyplace else because he deleted it. So that's what I used to make the screen behind me that blended in with the personal mix. Now, instead of getting angry with me and frustrated with me, you should have issued an apology to your customers for what you did. That's what you should have did. And try to discard the product that you have and try to reinvent it to make it better for your customers. But you don't do that at all. You come at us, which at the end of the day doesn't take anything off my table. My orders still go through. You can't cut corners. You got to do things by the book. If you don't do things by the book, it comes back to bite you in the face. And this is what came back to bite him in the face. So like I said, you're not going to find the video. It was deleted. He deleted the video, got rid of it. Not only did he delete the video, but he went back and he made a new product to probably discard whatever he had and said it was better. But then you're going to have people coming and asking you, hey, can you match that with the do-it-yourself mix, or can you match that with the personal mix? I'm going to see how close they come together. Now, if he doesn't do the demonstration, that means clearly he's basically doing it again to you. So it's funny how I'm going to put this link in there for you to see it for yourself. You can watch the rest of the video. I am going to get ready to finish my work upstairs. But like I said, it just dawned on me like that looked a heck of a lot of UV mix. As I said before, we don't have any more of it left. We're out. We don't have any more. Only thing I have is on my sample sheets. I can't go, and even though it looks just like it, I could easily fill up a gallon of it and call it my UV mix and whatever. But I don't do stuff like that. That's disrespectful to anybody. Even if a person disrespects me, I don't do that to them. So I'm just going to come out here and call it what it is. It's just Great Primer, but I'm going to call his product his UV mix because that's what he calls it. I'm not going to come out there and say, well, it's not UV mix. We're going to scratch it out and just call it Great Primer because that's disrespectful. You don't do that. See, he wasn't raised right. I was raised basically, you don't do that kind of stuff. Even if a person does you wrong, you don't do that kind of stuff. So at the end, I'm going to call his paint what it is, what he calls it. He calls it UP mix, it's UV mix. He calls it Crow's personal mix, it's personal mix. Even though I was able to match it with stuff that he already had and already showed me. Can't get, like I said, at the end of the day, you can't get mad at me because it's you on the video, it's you doing the tutorial, it's you showing people how to make the product. All I did was just make the product and just match it against your stuff, and it blended perfectly. It was your job to go in, and if you had that video floating around, at least delete it, or basically make your product different than what you were actually selling. That's all. All right, well, that was just interesting to see. That's all. Gotta go. God bless.